Welcome back to Kitco Mining. I'm Jeremy Safran. First Nordic Metals is making headlines with its strategic projects in Sweden and Finland, including the Barsele gold project, where they hold a 45% stake alongside Agnico Eagle Mines, Now, with nearly 100,000 hectares of highly prospective ground in Sweden and active exploration in Finland, the big question is, how will First Nordic use their recent $10 million financing to unlock the potential of these assets? Joining us right now is Taj Singh. He's the president, CEO, and director to walk us through their plans and the milestones investors can expect next. Great to see you, Taj.
Great to see you. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Thanks for coming on. Let's get to the big news. You guys just closed a $10 million bought deal. I think you just announced it. So break this down for us a little bit. How is it structured? Who participated in, and why is this such a big win for the company, Taj?
Yeah, so we announced it this morning, a closing of the deal. It was actually $11.5 million because we were oversubscribed on the $10 million bought deal. It was led by Haywood Securities, and in terms of the structure and pricing, it was a 33-cent deal with a 45-cent two-year half warrant. So not much off of what market was. So it was great to see we were able to get such a good deal done with not much of a discount at all. And we decided to go with 4-month hold paper. The new style is a lot of these companies are giving free trading paper right away. We decided no, we're sticking with 4-month hold paper to kind of attract long-term shareholders rather than kind of just flippers. So kind of those who were kind of aligned with our strategy. And I think we could have actually had more here if we had maybe changed that structure to free trading paper. But the idea was to really just build up these long-term shareholders. In terms of participating, we had existing big shareholders. They all kind of came in here in a big way, which is great. And then we added several new U.S. long-term funds, which really helped. So this was really focused on institutions. There was some retail, but it was nice to see we're adding institutions to the registry.
Yeah, well said. I mean, so many people are talking about how capital is hard to come by in the market. This, again, proving that if you're a good company, it's available to you.
Correct. Yeah, like it's, I don't know when the good part of the market is coming. We've all been waiting for it, despite specifically gold prices being so strong. It's been a really tough market, but I think at the end, as you said, good assets, and proven management teams, you can still attract the capital. But it definitely was a grind.
I hear you. Well done. Okay, well, 10 million oversubscribed, 11.5. So with this funding in place, how do you position First Nordic Metals for growth here? I mean, what's the money going to be going to? Exploration, development, or something else?
Yeah, mainly like the focus of these dollars are for exploration. We, as you noted, we are in a joint venture project with a development stage project, the Barsele project, which holds about 2.5 million ounces in Sweden. All surrounding that, we've got about 70 kilometers of first order strikes, so same structure, same geology, basically half of it to the north, half of it to the south, but basically the major portion of the well-known gold line belt, we own it, 100% owned. That's not in the JV. And there's several targets. Right now we have 4 very interesting targets, and we actually think we'll be able to generate more through 2025, but 4 exciting targets that we really want to move on in terms of getting them ready for diamond drilling next year. So very aggressive diamond drilling campaign on multiple projects next year on the gold line belt in Sweden.
Yeah, you talked about Agnico Metals. Obviously, we've seen Agnico Eagle just do really well this year, an exceptional company, really well managed. Talk to me a little bit about that JV and these other assets that you're talking about.
So the JV has been there since about 2015. It is actually the largest undeveloped gold deposit in Sweden. And is one of the largest in all of Europe, actually, in terms of undeveloped gold deposits. Fantastic project. It is a mine today, if you ask me. It just needs to be developed and de-risked and advanced through the process. But we have a very good relationship with Agnico. They're 55%, we're 45%. They are the operators. And we're fully carried on all costs on that project. So that's why this funding now allows us to be able to go and advance our other projects and look for other Barseles, other deposits of this style, all nearby, all regional to that project. And like I said, this is really the first time this belt will be explored in a systematic way ever. So it's really exciting to have this potential for brand new discoveries.
Talk to me a little bit about Scandinavia. Obviously, we know it's known for being a mining-friendly reputation, but what specific advantages do Sweden and Finland offer for companies like yours?
Well, I think the first thing that makes sense is it's a first world country, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have political certainty and security of your assets. Long legacy of mining. They're Sweden number one, Finland number two in terms of mining metals output in Europe throughout history. So long legacy of mining, very good at mining. In fact, an interesting fact is 65, I think, or 70% of all underground mining equipment is actually built in Sweden worldwide.
Right.
So they know what they're doing. They're very good at it. And then taxation is fantastic. So one of the best I've seen out there at around 21% in terms of corporate tax when you eventually get into production. Permitting process is very clear and transparent, just like you'd see in any first world country, Canada, US, Australia. And really there's a big push right now in both countries to encourage kind of independence in terms of production of metals and within Europe and the critical materials act. These are all kind of really playing a part in governments both at the state level and federally being very, very much supportive of mining and moving it forward. So, I mean, you really couldn't ask for a better place to be operating in right now.
Yeah, definitely very strategic. That country, well, Sweden particularly, making some big strides here. I think they understand that they have to be a leader within the critical minerals movement. Okay, well, talk to me a little bit about what's happening on the ground now. Can you give us a little update on your current drill program? What projects are the main focus here, Taj?
Yeah, so that's our key projects are the Powbacken project, which is just south of Barsele. That's a very large land package. It has two 5-kilometer targets, each distinct. We're going to be moving those towards diamond drilling. So we've done the geophysics, we've done geochemistry and till sampling, soil sampling. We are currently doing base of till drilling on these over the next few weeks/months. The base of till drilling is shallow drilling that kind of gets you ready for the deeper diamond drilling later. It kind of starts testing the bedrock just into the bedrock because there's glacial till covering these samples. So you have to test the bedrock and start sampling that. So those programs are happening on those projects. And to the north of the Barsele project, a very interesting project package, the Storjukten project. Right there's a very interesting target called the Nippes target, which we will also be now moving towards the diamond drilling stage. Geophysics is just about complete. These results will be announced soon. Geochemistry has been done, sampling, and will continue. But kind of in that main area, it's done, and then we'll be moving that towards diamond drilling too. So, 3 very big targets, all basically similar size or larger to the Barsele Gold project that really will be entering the first phases, the exciting phases of drilling.
Yeah, I mean, let's go over the next year here going forward. Obviously, it's been an interesting one with those metal prices coming into 2024, but 2025 looks to be a nice one on this side as well. So looking at the next year, I know we don't have a crystal ball here, Taj, but what gets you most excited about and what milestones are you aiming to hit here?
Yeah, listen, I think the backdrop of the gold price is extremely strong.
Right.
We had a bit of a pullback and it came back. All the factors that I can see are pointing to a strong year for gold. But regardless, listen, we as much as we complain about drops of $40, $50 in a day here and there, it's just like the gold price is very strong and there's nothing really to complain about. Lots of money can be made by producers at this gold price. What gets me excited, honestly, is the kind of the dual nature of the company of First Nordic. We've got a development stage project that kind of underpins our value. That's fine. And yet we've got this very strong blue sky potential with 3, 4, and hopefully more targets emerging on a belt that's very similar to the greenstone belts we see in the Abitibi in Ontario and Quebec in Canada, but it's about 80 years behind in terms of exploration. It just didn't see the systematic modern exploration that those gold camps saw. And so we own all of it. Whereas, for example, in Ontario, Quebec, you'd have probably 15 companies covering that ground.
Right.
So the exciting part for me is the actual potential scale and size of this opportunity. And again, like I said, you've got the development stage asset and you've got this blue sky potential. So that really excites me here. The ability to create what we're calling is Europe's next gold camp.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about those newly identified zones. I mean, you brought up a little bit about them. Get into it a little bit more, Taj, with the audience here. What are you drilling for next?
So really, like the thesis here is that there are other deposits on this 100-kilometer stretch. There are other deposits there. There's there's already been a few kind of found in the south and the north, but really, again, like I said, there hasn't been modern systematic exploration applied here. And so we're looking for other versions or other deposits of this style, like the Barsele project. We can apply the same methodologies we use for discovery there to these targets. So these targets would really excite us. I talked about them before, but they've all got huge size and scale. They all, systematically you have to work through geophysics and geochemistry, and then base of till drilling, the shallow drilling I talked about. They're all ticking the boxes. So the probability of success is continuing to increase on all of them. And then a big part of it is, as I'm going to be drilling these, my early stage exploration work was probably going to identify 3-4 more new targets that can be diamond drilled into 2026. And with the funding I have now, I'm well funded into 2026 to be able to aggressively push ahead the targets that are already ready to drill, as well as kind of set aside in the till money for more drilling on these new targets as they emerge.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, as you mentioned, exploration is one thing, but unlocking value is another. A lot of long-term value here for shareholders, it seems.
Yeah, listen, it's like I said, 2.5 million ounces. We actually think the Barsele project will grow substantially beyond that. There's good evidence and support for that. And if you can find 2-3 more of those deposits, you're talking about something extremely serious here, approaching, the potential of 10 million ounces in the longer term. I don't think there's an asset package out there owned by a junior that could be of that size. So again, extremely excited. And again, the jurisdiction we're in is fantastic. I didn't note that I talked about the corporate taxes, but the actual costs of doing exploration and development are extremely favorable as well. You've got access to low cost power, some of the cheapest power in the world, 3 cents a kilowatt hour. Because of all the hydro that's available there, it's amazing, and so it's again a great place to work and to be able to advance and progress projects along.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, not blowing out that share structure as well. Okay, Taj, let's talk about shareholders. Speaking of them, I mean, if they were to expect something from the next 6 to 12 months, give us a lay of the land here. What can they kind of expect in terms of news flow and milestones here?
Yeah, listen, we're finalizing our drill plans, and we'll probably announce a detailed kind of exploration plan in January. But we're kind of high level. We want to be able to drill roughly 25 to 30,000 meters over 3 different targets next year at least. And then that'll leave us some money to move into 2026 too and continue drilling then. But we have actually one of the largest diamond drilling programs in Europe. And probably one of the top ones of any junior out there with almost 30,000 kilometers kind of bookmarked there. So lots of news. You're going to just keep getting drilling results, which could all become very meaningful, right? Each of them. So as we continue to advance these projects. So 2025 year is a big year for First Nordic, which is essentially kind of a new name, the merger of 2 companies in 2024. This raise helped put us on the radar of a lot of people, a lot of institutions, and I think you're going to see a lot of news from us next year. So very exciting 2025 planned. Yeah,
again, positive. That JV with Agnico, you can't go wrong. Plus 2 years of a runway funding-wise. Well done, Taj. First Nordic Metals trades on the TSX Venture under the ticker symbol FNM. Joining us, of course, is Taj Singh. He's the president, CEO, and director. Thanks for this, my friend. We'll have you on for a quick update in 2024 and make sure that it's all going according to plan.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Taj. I'm Jeremy Sappin for all of us here at Kitco Mining. We thank you for watching. We got great content coming up all week long. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.